Alrighty, hello, good, well, I would say morning, but it's kind of like a relatively noonish type situation right now. But a bit of good news. So, alright, so Daedalus, the kind of Vita emulator, the Vita N64 emulator thing, it had an issue a while ago. Okay, with Ogre Battle 64, if that's what you're getting it for, basically it worked pretty well. It was playable. The problem was all the text boxes were kind of crunched, right? Anyone that tried it can probably point out the fact that you need a dang magnifying glass to actually read anything before. So, in a weird kind of random thing here, I don't know when this changed. I'm assuming it was just some quiet update somewhere, because I didn't see any proper updates. I don't know if it's one of these compatibility packs that got updated or what exactly. But long story short, OB64 actually does properly work now. So there were two main things that it had an issue with before. One was the fog would glitch out, so any maps that had sort of a area fog around them, so let's say the first time that you ran into the Zenobian border, all that kind of thing, you ended up, I think is that technically the Zenobian border? I know it's I don't know if they actually connect, now that I think about it. Anyway, point being, the border. Like the first border map where you fight Debonair. Yeah, so that one had a thing where the fog would just kind of render a bunch of random stuff invisible. Meanwhile, also, you had another issue where, yeah, the text boxes were crunched. They were very hard to read. And so, yeah. You'll see that the people on the title screen are still a bit jacked up looking. But yeah, just so you know, this is all default settings. The only thing I changed was anti-aliasing. I just kind of turned that off just to give it a little bit better performance. Also turned off audio. It doesn't make too much of a difference. It still kind of runs at like 20 FPS whether audio's on or off. I just kind of feel like it helps. It probably doesn't. Not very much anyway. All right, anyway, so point being, just to kind of show you this, which, by the way, the only issue I have with this emulator is the fact that, yeah, if you go to load state, sometimes it won't really update and, won't update where you are in the menu in time. So, if you go over here, you go to this. So, let me go load state, and you go to save, right? Or you accidentally pass through save. Sometimes it'll just get stuck on save, like this, and then you'll be like, oh, let me just click that, and then you suddenly save over your save state. Yeah, it's kind of annoying, but whatever. Yeah. It's all nice and fixed now, so that's all well and snazzy. So if this is your oddly specific wheelhouse, there you go. It's definitely playable. As strange as it sounds, I know this is gonna sound like sticking your head in the sand of the upteenth degree here, but when it comes to something like this, it's kind of been nice playing this with a little bit of slowdown, because there's so many little details you kind of wouldn't notice otherwise, just weird animation quirks and stuff like that. So it's just been kind of neat in that regard. And yeah, aside from that, there really isn't anything else to cover here. I still think, at this point, I've looked into the Retroid, I've looked into modded Switches and things like that, Android devices, what have you. I still feel like the Vita is basically, if this series is kind of your jam, so to speak, it kind of feels like the Vita still kind of plays, well, the majority of the series the best. I was talking about a Retroid last time, so basically they're these Android-based handhelds that came out. They're pretty cheap, and honestly fantastic devices, but, okay, some very louds going on over there. But yeah, they don't do PSP as well, and from what I've heard, apparently they might still run into the same issues with slowdown for TO Remake and stuff like that. So that's a bit of a thing, though technically they would apparently be able to play the Saturn ports. I have not seen anybody actually try out the Saturn ports on that thing, so it probably also doesn't run well, and also probably wouldn't recommend going for the Saturn one specifically, but oh well. So that'll be that. Hope you guys have a good one. Hope this is at least useful for, the two of you out there that play this on a Vita. Which I have to say, in the past, when I was doing those dad device videos and whatever else, I was going on about not being sure about how durable Vitas are. I never really properly tested it because I was always kind of scared to, despite the fact that it was probably one of the cheapest devices I owned. And yeah, despite that, Like, this latest one that I've gotten, I got it damaged. Like, I literally bought the thing on the cheap off Facebook Marketplace. The screen is shattered top to bottom. Like, it's, surprisingly, it does not affect any performance whatsoever. But yeah, it's just kind of funny because, yeah, I have not put a case on this thing. I've just kind of let it do its thing, and I'm surprised. This thing is like a brick. It, I think these actually might be more durable than PSPs, all things considered, because I've kind of put this thing through unintentional amounts of punishment these last few months, and yeah, it has not cared at all. Anyway, I gotta get going. Gotta get back to the chaos. Y'all have a good one. I hope this was a useful PSA, and hoping to cover some other stuff relatively soonish here. So, you take care.